What's up, everybody? It is JT, and
The stash, baby. We back at it again.
we're gonna break down some Week 3 games and kind of let you guys know what our thoughts are towards the game, and just go into detail about it. So go ahead and dive into the first game, Thursday Night Football.
Woo, yeah, we got the Giants taking on the Niners. That game, kind of what I expected. It started off a little slower than that, though, but Niners taking it by 30. Crazy fact: the Niners have scored 90 points in 3 games, 30 points each game.
Mm, pretty wild. I mean, the Giants were hanging in with them early, though, surprisingly, and then the 49ers kind of pulled away late. The defense of the Niners, very fast, very ferocious. Those guys came out the ball, so I mean,
Uh,
they let Daniel Jones feel their presence. I mean, they were dominant early.
Definitely, they're showing once again why they're the best defense in football.
Hmm.
Next week, next game, we have the Dolphins taking on the Broncos. JT, tell me what you thought about this. This was absolutely bizarre.
Man, that was a good old fashioned beat down if I ever seen one, man. So you put up 70 on those poor little Broncos. Why'd you do it, Mike McDaniel? Why? Tua, Tyreek, you have no empathy. Nah, screw it. I mean, them Dolphins came out to kill them Broncos, bro. Um, So Devon Ache and Raheem Mozart, 4 touchdowns apiece, eight total
Man,
touchdowns
get him
from
out of
those running
here.
backs. Crazy.
Killed me in fantasy this week.
Whew. Ridiculous. I've not seen anything like it. But they were, I believe, a field goal away from breaking the all-time points record in a game.
That's nuts. I could not believe it. It looked like this. I got mad and I played Madden on rookie.
Oh man, I bet Sean Payton was not happy after that game.
Mm-mm.
Broncos fans, sorry that you're going through this.
Sorry, Broncos. Broncos country riding into the sunset. Retirement.
Riding into a silver bullet.
We got
But
the
we'll go ahead.
we got the Jets taking on the Pats. JT, what you
Wow.
think?
So this game, I had a feeling that the Pats would probably win it based solely on the fact that the Jets offense is going to be a little bit more ineffective. A little bit more. That's a bit of an understatement. A lot more ineffective without Rodgers this season. So they cannot establish the run game at all. They've yet to do it this season. Dalvin Cook only had, I believe, he had under 30 yards rushing. Brees Hall has yet to have a good game besides week one. These guys have got to get the run game going. The Patriots defense is too much for the Jets to handle. Um, so overall, good game for the Patriots moving into week 4.
Yeah, I thought the Pats were actually pretty solid. I think their defense is excellent this year. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them.
Top
Don't
10
sleep
every year.
don't sleep on them. They're very good. Like Bill Belichick is a defensive coach. He knows how to coach a defense.
That
So
boy Christian Gonzalez balling out.
I mean, he's shutting Tyreek down. So I mean, Tyreek didn't get shut down this week. That's for sure.
Mm-mm. No
So
way.
next
No way.
game, we got the Jags taking on the Texans. Um, This game, I was smelling an upset all week, and I was trying to figure out who it was. I did not think this game was actually not on my radar, and I am sorry. To all the Texans fans out there, I apologize. You guys have actually shocked me. I've always rooted for the Texans as kind of like a side team because
Mm.
they've always been bad. And I've always like, come on. And when they get a win, I'm like, good job. I'm glad. Let's
Good
go.
job, Texans.
Yeah, I
Good
was like,
job.
I like their logo too. I mean, they're kind of cool. So that's like more of my like little AFC team I root for here and there. But I think they looked excellent. I thought the Jags, that division is so mismatched. I have no idea who's actually good. But the Texans looked good today. So congrats to the Texans. I am very proud. Good job.
CJ Stroud looking like their QB1 of the future.
hmm
And Tank Dell, rookie receiver, going off. He's already having a great chemistry with CJ Stroud early year one. Um, just picking apart that Jacksonville defense. So I feel like the Texans, they could, if they string a few games in a row, they could be making some noise. I don't think they will, but that's a big, what if. But but I did not see the Jags losing that game,
No, I didn't
especially by
either.
that amount. So
They play the
definitely a
the
surprise
Steelers
game
next
of the
week.
week. Steelers, nah, they won't win that.
Probably not. I'll be real with you. And
Probably,
then
eh,
probably not, but
we'll see how it goes for them.
then we got the Browns taking on the Titans today.
Ooh, the Browns defense just overwhelmed the Titans offensive line. I mean, there was a couple new starters on that offensive line apparently, but the Titans, Derrick Henry only had 20 yards rushing. I felt bad for him because that man was getting hit behind the line of scrimmage more times than not. Couldn't help it, but at the end of the day, the Titans just couldn't make enough plays to win the game. They had several opportunities. Ryan Tannehill just could not convert.
No, he couldn't.
That I mean, Deshaun Watson looked pretty good today for the most part, besides that one awful play where he got sacked and flipped it behind his back. For a fumble, Elijah Mitchell, or not Elijah, Elijah Moore, excuse me, picked the ball up and tried to run on the outside, and it was like a 15-yard loss. So that was a really dumb play by Deshaun Watson, but he made up for it. Did you see the play that Amari Cooper got
Yes, I was
called
about to
for
say.
out of bounds, and that should have been a no
He had
call
like
because
this
he
much
was
room.
clearly in bounds. That'd have been a touchdown.
Yeah, Mark Cooper broke
But
open. So yeah,
Browns offense looking pretty good without Nick Chubb, but
and
they
you
definitely
know,
miss him.
a lot of people say a lot of things to Deshaun Watson about
Oh,
a lot
oh
of
yeah,
things. So it get in his head, fans, other defensive players.
yeah, no doubt.
And then the next game we had, which I was actually a little shocked by the score. I didn't think it'd be as big as it like of a difference as it was, but I thought it'd be a little closer. Not saying that the outcome would have been different. Like I said, I took the Lions, but I think the Lions Falcons game was a little more lopsided than I expected, to be
Mhm.
personally honest.
That defensive front for Detroit is nothing to be played with, guys. Aiden Hutchinson and them boys came to play today against Bijan. I mean, he was not having his way at all. Bijan's having a pretty solid rookie campaign to start the year off, but Detroit showed him a welcome to the league moment. So
Definitely,
Detroit, I mean that's not an unexpected win. They should have beat Atlanta. So
definitely should have been Atlanta. I wasn't surprised they beat Atlanta. I just thought it'd been a little closer. I was thinking more of like a 10 to
margin,
20 score.
yeah.
Still two possession, but a little more, a little less than what it was.
Mhm.
But the game that I've said it, JT. I don't know how many times people will not listen to me when I say that Jordan Love is a Hall of Fame quarterback in the making. He is going to be an all time great. He is going to win a Super Bowl in Green Bay. It will happen. It is his destiny. Jordan Love with the Lambeau miracle coming back down 18 points to 0 in the fourth quarter to beat the Saints was a absolute Lombardi miracle. I'm just saying Jordan Love is who we thought he was. Jordan Love is him. Jordan Love is Himothy.
Okay. The hype train for Jordan Love. Choo choo. All aboard for it. Um, I mean that was a crazy comeback. I thought the Saints were gonna hang on, but losing Derek Carr, that hurt them for that game. I mean if they still had him, I bet they won that game by at least a touchdown. Um, but yeah, good win for the Packers.
So after that, we had another blowout game. I watched part of this. I was actually played against their defense this week in fantasy, and I was not happy about it. The Buffalo Bills decimating the Washington Commanders, 37-3. Your thoughts, JT?
I'll say this for a lot of people who don't keep up with the Washington Commanders. They've got a lot of upside. Don't let this score dictate or kind of have a notion in your mind about the Commanders they suck like every year. It's the Commanders. No, they've got a good team, and they're going to get better as the season progresses. They've got a good young quarterback they've found in Sam Howell, who threw I believe 3 or 4 interceptions today, but going against that front seven, no young quarterback's going to succeed, especially Washington has a very poor O line, so that's not going to help your chances against a formidable D line. Um, he's got some weapons that's been helping him out so far this season. Scary Terry, Brian Robinson, etc. But I think the Commanders, especially with their defense, they've been in games because of their defense this year too. But I think they'll surprise some people and win more games than projected.
I think so
But the
too.
Bills, going to the Bills, I mean, they played a great game. Stephon balled out.
Only one
Um,
turnover by Allen.
exactly. So props to them.
It was a. Then we're gonna take it to this game. You want me to start on this game or not? The Vikings Chargers game.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give a brief summarization real quick. So Vikings have another turnover-filled day, two turnovers. They've got nine through 3 weeks. That's why they're 0-3, folks. They've got O-line struggles, secondary woes, everything in between. I mean, at the end of the day, Kirk has been playing at a Pro Bowl level. Justin Jefferson is on pace for over 2,000 yards to exceed that. They've got some great players on offense. It's just they've been making these boneheaded plays, and I mean, it's just coming down to bite them when it matters the most. They shoot themselves in the feet more times than they should, and that's why they lost today. But the Chargers played great. They exposed the Vikings secondary. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen especially torched the secondary for over 200 yards.
I think you covered that mostly. Justin Herbert had a good game.
Yeah,
You were right.
solid.
You're right. This game is exactly what I expected it to be. I expected this to be a shootout. I expected both teams to be a very close game. The connection between Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson is one of the best in sports, really. Uh, Especially with the age gap like they do have. So
Yeah, true.
that was really nice. Justin Herbert, it's just another close game. That's like I said earlier. I do think that the Chargers and the Vikings are the same team almost right now on two different on AFC and NFC. They've both played very close games against good teams and just squeaking past them. So
I will say this real quick. The Chargers were without Austin Eckler too, and they still get the win.
that's true.
It's pretty big for them.
Then we'll go on to a surprising win in my opinion on this, but the Colts Ravens. JT.
Okay, I actually watched this game after the Vikings game. The Colts did not deserve to win this at all. In overtime, I don't know if you saw this. Zay Flowers got tackled, harassed, literally got a man on his back. Should have been pass interference. It would have given him a first down. They easily would have won the game. The ref did not call it. And John Harbaugh was livid on the sideline. He was calling for pass interference. The ref thought otherwise, but that changed the entire momentum, excuse me, of the game because the Colts got the ball back. Michael Pittman had like a 40-yard catch. The Colts played good without their star quarterback. So Anthony Richardson was out because of concussion. Gardner Minshew, he stepped in big time. He played a good game. Zach Moss was the player of the game for the Colts, though. He had a solid ground game. Um, he's been pretty good for them overall to start the year. Getting Jonathan Taylor back after next week, very interesting move um, to get him off IR. But good game. I think the Ravens should have came out victorious, but nonetheless, it was pretty cool to watch both of them go at it.
Then we'll move on to the next game. The Seahawks versus the Panthers, JT. Okay, this one, high scoring, a lot higher scoring than I expected. Um, is now the question is, Seahawks won this game, don't get me wrong, but 27 points by your backup Andy Dalton, just saying that's kind of big. Like he really kept this team in the game.
It did.
So I think the Seahawks still looked really good. So I'm not
Kenneth
no
Walker.
Kenneth Walker went off. Woo!
He is legit. Um, I think if you're the Carolina Panthers, you've really got to think, is Bryce Young ready? Is Bryce Young really ready yet? Because Andy Dalton led that offense way better than Bryce Young has this season. Granted, Bryce has been going through with an injury. I believe he had an ankle sprain. That's why it kept him out of the game today. But you don't want to rush your QB of the future out there if he's not ready yet. So think about it. Put Dalton out there for the next few weeks if Bryce Young is not ready to go. That's what I would do.
I like it. Yeah, no, I think a lot of people are talking about now having QBs, rookie QBs study under is having such a better improvement than just starting them.
Oh, I
So
agree.
maybe that's really the go-to right now. But that's for a different topic. We'll discuss that at another time. Then we got no surprise, the Kansas City Chiefs beating the absolute brakes off of the Chicago Bears.
Enough said with that. Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs, they
Oh,
throttled the
you
Bears.
you know why? You know why they were balling out. You know why they had to make Kelsey a star today. Because
T
T
Swizzle.
Swivel was in the building. She was in Arrowhead and she was yelling some explicit content when he scored his touchdown. Just for you
Hey,
Swifties
she
out
was
there.
with Mama Kelsey up there too, right next to
Hmm.
Travis's mama. So
Yes, she was. Then we'll move on to the last game of the Sunday. We got the Steelers versus the Raiders. I picked the Steelers to win this game. I thought their
what
defense
about
was.
the my bad. What about the Cowboys and the
Oh,
Cardinals?
you're right. I skipped a game. My bad. The biggest upset of the week so far.
Yeah,
Probably even if the Bucks beat the Eagles, I don't think it would be still as shocking as the Cardinals beating the Cowboys because no one expected that.
I agree.
The Cardinals coming out and beating the Cowboys. Did you know? Just for the record, the Cardinals have beat the Cowboys the last 6 times they've played each other. Yes,
Really?
yes, I found that out. The last 6 times they played each other, the Cardinals have beat the Cowboys 28 to 16. They exposed that defense. Josh Dobbs looked fantastic. And
That was
James
no
Conner,
surprise.
holy crap, looked great. I've been like saying he's starting to fall off. No, he definitely proved me wrong tonight. Wow. Congratulations, Arizona Cardinals. You guys did fantastic knocking off them boys for all of the rest of the United States to be glad that they shut them up for 1 week. Thank you so much. It means a lot to the rest of America.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Dobbs, QB1 of the future. Does he take Kyler Murray's spot? Nah, but he played really good today.
I mean, I would actually probably take Dobbs right now. I'll be real with you.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the future unfolds. I mean, Kyler will be back about week 9 or 10, maybe out for the year. Who knows?
I'd
But
keep him out.
um, probably. Um, but that was a good, very, very good win for the Cardinals. They had Dallas and their offense in shambles all day. So this begs the question, though. First game without Trayvon Diggs. Is that going to continue to be a factor on defense on the outside corner opposite Gilmore? Because I saw today them get exposed on the corner position.
It might be. The thing about the Cowboys though, like they may have an issue there, but like the thing you have to realize about the Cowboys is if you look at their roster, they've got some like they don't have a whole lot of depth at corner, but they have a
Hmm.
lot of depth at safety.
Yeah, that is true.
So
Jalen Curse, he's a very good player, and they've
so
got some other guys that can ball.
I think it does suck. It is bad for their defense that they lost Trevon Diggs for sure. And I think it's going to play a factor, especially like you said, like they're getting exposed on that side because he's not there, and it sucks for them, especially in practice. Like man, like I mean, for me, if it was a game, it'd be a little better, but like in practice, that's got to be even worse. So
Micah Parsons, they still got that man. So,
yeah, problem man has the opportunity to win MVP this year. He is playing electric. Man looks
ooh,
so good.
we'll
Dude,
see.
dude is
That'd be
balling out.
crazy.
I would love for a defensive player to win MVP. I would love it.
Me too. Preach.
So you want to talk about we got two more games. They're tomorrow night. We're just gonna go ahead and get this video for you guys, and because it was a crazy week in the NFL, we'll talk about the Rams Bengals game first. I think we talked about me and JT here talked about this for a minute before, but like we actually differ on this. I said I think the Rams are taking this game, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, the Rams are taking this game. The Rams look good." So explain your thoughts on this, JT.
So I think the Rams, they played very tough against the Niners, which was a good sign, but the Bengals have yet to show up in fashion of what they're capable of doing. I think this is the game they get right. I think this is the game that Jamar Chase finally has a breakout game. He's been bottled up the last 2 weeks. I think he goes for over 150 and 2 touchdowns. Um, I think this game is within 7 to 10 points, but I think the Bengals finally get over the hump and win a game this year.
Well, he's not ruled out yet, so he still plans on playing.
Who?
So Burrow,
Oh, okay.
because he did bother his calf last week, but he's
If I
been
was him, I would
questionable.
shut it down.
Shut it down.
I, I, you don't want that lingering during the entire season.
Mm.
You've got to get that thing
Fixed.
treated and make sure it's okay for the future. Because calf injuries are scary for a quarterback because you're going to be planning and throwing. And if you have no power behind that, you're going to be constantly underthrowing your ball to your receiver. Um, it's just very. Rodgers had that in 2015 when they lost to Seattle in NFC Championship game, and they said that his calf was so bad he could not even stand on his tippy toes.
Wow.
So Um, I feel like if Burrow tries to play through this, be a tough guy, you're gonna regret it come playoff time. So you've got to get this thing settled. You got to get this thing under control right now. So that's what I would do if I was the Bengals.
What about
And I think you can win without them. You've got so much talent.
You have a lot of talent. Who's their backup QB? Do you know?
Um, I know they signed AJ McCarron off practice squad to active roster. I'm not sure if it'd be him
Will
or
Greer got
White.
signed by the Patriots.
Oh,
Did you know about that?
I
He
did
was
not.
on the practice squad for the Bengals, and Pat signed him.
Hey, that's a good sign.
Will Greer, by,
Quarterback
by
you
the
can
way,
trust a bit.
is the only person I've ever followed from high school to college to pros
Mm.
ever. Will Greer was as a junior was recruited to Florida. He our QB, he was a backup QB. He we were down to Tennessee. He played. He beat them. Ended up getting caught for PEDs later on using them. So got like kicked off the team for like a year. Didn't like how Florida treated him. Went to West Virginia, balled out there, and then he's been around a couple teams. But in high school, if you look at his stats, he had the most insane stats I've ever seen for a college athlete.
It was
Like
like that. It was really good.
it was like 500-yard games all the time.
Golly.
Yeah, it was nuts. So, but yeah, and then we got the final game, which I we haven't talked about on the picks for this one between you and I. So I am curious to see what you say. But the Eagles going to Tampa. I got a little story to talk about this in a minute, but I want your thoughts on it first.
So I think a lot of people have the Philadelphia Eagles in this game, rightfully so, but you've got to think about it. The Eagles look beatable. They almost lost to the Vikings, who had four turnovers that game. I think if Baker has the Mike Evans connection early, um, then you could warrant a Bucks victory, especially if they can get the ground game going. That's going to be the key factor because that front versus the Bucks O line could get pretty scary because the Eagles D line is pretty ferocious. But if Baker can hang in there, um, I think they've got a good shot at winning because I like the Bucks defense versus the offense of the Eagles because if you bracket Jalen Hurts downfield or don't blitz him a ton, he's gonna make mistakes. You've got to keep him in the pocket. So I've actually got the Bucks winning this game in an upset. I think it'll be very close, but
Give
I
me a
think the
score.
Bucks will be 3-0.
Give
People,
me a
3-0.
score. What do you think on the score? Like what
I'm
kind of score?
going to say I'm gonna say 27-24.
27-24 bucks. Okay,
Mm.
I like it. So I'm gonna break down mine and I'll tell the story about that why this game is so exciting for me. I think the Bucks have a 10% chance of winning this game. 90% going to Philly, 10% going to the Bucks. I think the Bucks have looked good. I think this is going to be their strongest opponent that they're going to go against, and I really like that. So the Bucks here, Rondé Barber's getting his Hall of Fame put in the Bucks Ring of Honor. So Ronnie Barber waited until the Philly game at home to do this. because he has a history against Philly. Back in 2002 in the NFC Championship game, the Bucks were playing Philly. We had lost to them in Philly during the regular season. We went 12-4 during that game, during the season into that, and we played in the NFC Championship game. They were driving down the field to win the game, and Don McNabb steps back. He throws it. Rondé Barber picks him off and runs it back for a touchdown to seal it and go to San Diego and to go on to win the Super Bowl. Our Super Bowl
Ooh,
won 37. So he is waiting, and that's kind of been his thing. He hates Philly. Like there's so much trash talk to him about him being a cornerback. He wasn't useful, and all the disrespect towards Rondé Barber throughout his career. Very underlooked uh, cornerback. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's underlooked as
for
a Hall of
sure.
Famer.
All
So
time great.
it's only cornerback to ever have 20 sacks and 20 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out. Shout out.
So I'm excited for it. I think it'll also be a close game. The 28-25 for me.
Okay. Who do you got?
I got Tampa. I'm gonna take Tampa. I'm
Ooh,
gonna.
okay.
I'm
Okay.
I'm still being humble. I think we'll either lose in a blowout or we'll win by a close game. It'll be one of the two.
Yeah, that's either one of the two ways. Yeah,
But I lost in
exactly.
fantasy. I need Tampa to win or something. I'm gonna have a bad week. So
Exactly.
that's my
Um,
take on it.
Going back to the Pittsburgh game real quick, we touched kind of briefly on it. The Raiders almost came out of that victorious, but the Pittsburgh Steelers hang in there and get the W. And Sunday Night Football. That was a good game. Jimmy G threw 3 picks though. Whew.
Yeah, he did.
Um,
I was kind of shocked he threw that many picks. He's usually kind of good with the ball.
mm, yeah, Devonta Adams had a really good game though. He
He
went
did.
off.
He went off for them for sure.
Looking forward to these two matchups tomorrow night though. Kind of weird in back-to-back weeks they have two Monday Night Football
I don't
games.
like it actually. If I'm being real with you.
Me either.
So most people work like Monday nights and stuff. So I would rather have two Sunday night games and one Monday night game. I was talking about this
I
earlier.
agree. I
I work
agree.
Mondays. And I work night shift like night. So I want to be able to watch the game. So put the game on Monday. I would have rather this
Exactly.
game been on tonight. I would have been watching it the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for all the support. Continue to like it up, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. So check out the TikTok Thunder Sports Pod, same handle. It's been JT,
and
and
stash baby, we out. Whoop.